Hi, this is Relate to Shan, where I talk about how to build better social skills in order to build better relationships. Welcome. And I wanted to talk a bit about self esteem. Number one, what is it? Number two, how to get it off the floor. So, when I did my research about what self esteem is, you know, quick little Google search. The first thing I looked up about what is self-esteem. Very easy, very simple. And the answer I came to was it's self-confidence. Okay. What is self-confidence? Then I asked Google, and Google said self-confidence is believing in yourself. Okay, what is belief? Okay, let's let's get to this. I need some action words. I need something concrete. I need to get down to the nitty gritty here. I finally found an answer. Google finally gave me my answer uh, with the name of John Searle or Cyril. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly, but I will put it down at the bottom of the screen. And also the link to his video that I watched where he explained what belief is in from a, you know, from a scientist perspective, from a, brain perspective, what is belief? He said, and I'm paraphrasing here, of course, uh, belief is uh, belief in something is representing how things are or how we think them to be. And as such, belief is not just simply a desire or a hunch, right? Belief must exist within an already established framework of how the world works and our understanding of the world, and 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 that also includes a framework of other beliefs. A belief cannot just exist in and of itself. That's more like a hunch or a guess or a, you know, I'd like this to happen. Compared to a belief, there has to be a some sort of reason that is attached to some sort of objective um, conclusions that other people can come to as well. For example, I believe it'll rain tomorrow because it rained the last 3 days, or it rained 3 times within the last week. Belief is something that exists within a framework, right? Then self belief, belief in oneself, of course, going back to my original, the beginning of this video, belief in oneself leads to self confidence. Self confidence comes from self knowledge, okay? So, belief in oneself and self knowledge. And knowledge, what is knowledge? It is a framework of information that you already have about yourself, things that you already know to be true about yourself. And it will be very helpful if other people believe those things about you. So if you take the things that you know about yourself and you take what other people know about you, and if they happen to also be positive things or mostly positive things that you know about yourself and that other people know about you, then that will lead to confidence in yourself and other people's confidence in you and what they know you to do, right? And and that affects the perception of who you are. Your self-knowledge equals your self-perception, and your self-perception equals your self-reality. When there's an incongruency of how you see yourself and how other people see you, that's when your self esteem drops. So, when your self esteem, so when you see yourself as, positive, as You see yourself as someone who is capable of doing good things and amazing things. You see yourself, your self-knowledge is that I am someone who's capable of doing great things. That boosts up your belief in yourself, and that boosts up your self-confidence slash self-esteem. And that self-esteem will be cemented when other people agree, when you have that objective framework that also supports your internal framework. And they're both positive. These are positive knowledge about yourself and your abilities and who you are. Self-esteem's up. 2 thumbs up. However, if one or if just one of your one of the frameworks of who you are is negative, and you are aware of that negativity. See, this is also about awareness. Are you aware of the positive self-knowledge? Are you aware of the negative self-knowledge? So this comes down to internal, external framework, how positive it is, and how aware you are of that positivity. That is your self-esteem in a nutshell, right? If you are aware of any negative feedback, whether that feedback is internal, like negative self-talk, negative being too hard on yourself, being too difficult, creating standards for you that you wouldn't dare give to anyone else, not being a friend to yourself that you would be to other people, like that's going to lower your self-esteem. It doesn't matter if other people disagree with that negative self-talk. You are aware of your own negative self-talk, and that is what you're going to believe. If other people's negative talk of you, if you are aware of other people's negative talk of you, their knowledge of you is quite negative, and if you're aware of it, you may not care what other people think in the beginning, but at some point it will start to wear on you, because we are social creatures. You hear that all the time. Connection is linked to our survival. So in the beginning, you might be able to ignore or explain away other people's negative talk of you. But at some point, if you keep hearing negative talk over and over again from the external framework, it's going to get to you, and at some point it will enter your internal framework and therefore affect your self-esteem. So both the internal and external framework has to be positive about your abilities or your energy, or just who you are as a person, as a human being. Positive and consistently so. And that knowledge has to be congruent. Both the internal and the external, it actually has to be congruent. If there's incongruency, at some point it's going to get to you. You cannot deny the incongruency for too long. Acutely, you can ignore the incongruency. Oh, that person's just jealous. Oh, they're just mad because, I'm on the come up. Oh, they just mad. They're just they're having a bad day. That has nothing to do with me. Acutely, you can explain away other people's negative talk of you, and you actually could be right. But if it's repetitive, that negative talk, it'll get to you. It'll get to you. It gets to all of us. So that's how esteem works. That's how we bring our esteem up. That's how our esteem goes down. Internal and external framework, and the positive congruency between the internal and external framework of who you are and how you are, and who you could be and what you could do, and so on and so forth. And the consistency of that positive talk. That is your self-esteem in a nutshell. It's the knowledge which aids into your belief, the framework which aids into your belief, and that's your confidence. Now I'm going to give some tips and tricks. I don't like doing these videos where I just explain what is self-esteem and then just say bye. I kind of want to give some tips and tricks whenever possible.